Hi, and welcome to Mrs. PM Reads, where we are continuing in the Magic Circle by Katherine Neville. And in our last video, Ariel is in her hotel jail-like cell in Leningrad, and her guard, which she has kind of nicknamed Svetlana, gets her to see Volga, who is her Uncle Laugh's assistant. That happened previously. So this last video, Volga gives her a letter from Lafcadio. And basically it says, you need to believe everything Volga's about to tell you. And then we hear all about, a little bit about Volga's family history and his name and that sort of thing. Dragunov is his last name. So, and he's telling Ariel that she is capable of doing great things. And then he's going to tell her his story. That's where we begin. It's titled The Secret History. There was a bluish wolf which was born having his destiny from heaven above. His spouse was a fallow doe. They came passing over the Tingis at the moment when their descendant was born. He was holding in his right hand a clot of blood the size of a knuckle bone. He was given the name Temujin, blacksmith. The Secret History of the Mongols, translation by Francis Woodman Cleaves. In nomadic cultures, like those of the steppe, the sky itself is regarded as God. The axis on which the universe pivots is the pole star, at the tip of the small bear's tail. It is held that a leader's destiny is to subjugate and unite the four corners of the four quadrants of humanity on Earth, corresponding to the four quarters of the night sky. The most important function in the no man's world is that of the blacksmith. His craft of creating the tools, weapons, and utensils so essential to this harsh existence is believed to be taught him directly by the gods. In such a belief system, all those born to be leaders were born smiths, like the Greek Hephaestus. They're considered partly magi and partly gods. The long rule of the Mongol dynasty was known to the Mongols themselves as the blacksmith monarchy. In the year 1160, beside a freshwater spring near the river Onon in the grasslands of the Mongolian steppe, a mysterious figure was born. His ancestors, the legends say, were blue wolf and a fallow doe. His name was Temujin, meaning blacksmith, as Attilas, who came before him, had meant iron. When Temujin was 9, his father arranged his betrothal to a girl of a neighboring tribe. But during the father's return journey, he paused to dine on the steppe with some Tartars and was poisoned. Owing to their youth, Temujin and his brothers lost their father's herds to their own tribe, who moved on, leaving the boys and their widowed mother destitute. The family removed to the sacred mountain Burkhan Qualdan at the source of the Onon River, where they foraged for food. Each day, Temujin prayed to this mountain, "O eternal Tangri, I am armed to avenge the blood of my ancestors. If you approve what I do, lend me the aid of your strength." And Tangri spoke to him. By the time Temujin was grown and married to his betrothed, He had succeeded in rallying the Mongol tribes and reducing their enemies, the Tartars, to mere collections of bones decorating the battlefields he'd left behind. He conquered a third part of China and much of the eastern steppe. The shaman Kokchu revealed to the Mongol people that it was Tumunji's destiny one day to rule the world, to become the great leader who would unite the four corners as had been foretold since the dawn of time. And indeed, at the age of 36, after many successful battles, Temujin the blacksmith was elected the first great Khan to unite all the tribes under one toque or banner. His title was, as Khan, was Chengiz, from the Uyghur word Tenjis, which, like the Tibetan Dali, means sea. Now that we got to that part. His followers called them Mongol, the blue Mongols, after their powerful patron, the sky god Tangri. The magical white banner they followed, with its 9 yak tails, was believed to be imbued with shamanic powers to possess a solde, a soul or genie of its own, that led Genghis Khan and the Mongol onward to their quest of the sedentary civilized world. It was later said that from the moment of his birth, it had been ordained under Genghis Khan, East and West would be woven together like the warp and woof of a complex tapestry, so inextricably knotted as to be inseparable in the future. Before they were through, the Mongol Empire stretched from the inland waterways of Central Europe all the way to the Pacific Ocean. Genghis Khan had truly lived up to his title, ruler of the seas. He'd conquered the lands of Hindus and Buddhists and Taoists, Muslims, Christians, and Jews. But Genghis retained, to the end, his own animist faith and his worship of rivers and mountains. He rejected costly pilgrimages and religious struggles over places like Mecca and Jerusalem as foolishness, for the god Tangri existed everywhere. He illegalized baptism and ritual ablution as pollution of the sacrosanct source of all life, water. He demolished large stretches of China and Iran, razing all vestiges of earlier civilization, including animal and human life, art, architecture, and books. Loathing the soft decadence of city life, he burned vast tracts of cultivated soil, returning them to the appearance of those harsh, clean steppe lands he felt most comfortable living on. Though illiterate, Genghis understood the power of writing. He had his own moral code written into law, and so rigidly enforced that it was said during his lifetime, a virgin with a, I just wanted to make sure I could read it. A virgin with a golden platter on her head could walk the length of the Silk Road unmolested. He had the history and genealogy of the Mongols encoded into sacred blue books and had these placed in caves for future generations to find. He also had the ancient wisdom of the shamans, magi, and priests of each land he conquered, carefully examined and recorded, and he set these in the caves as well. It is said that these documents, when combined, provided the key to ancient secrets of great power, secrets of a nature so organic that when unearthed, they would demolish the pretensions of today's organized religions, religions that have crystallized over the centuries, trapped within their own intractable dogma their petrified rituals and rites. What Genghis, the blacksmith who became an ocean, really hid in the caves, it is said, is a tradition transcending all faiths, but containing the concentrated essence that provides the kernel of each. Down to our own century, those with an interest in harnessing such power have sought these caves and their contents. Gurdjieff claimed to have found some of these documents before the turn of the century while traveling through Xinjiang and Tajikistan, somewhere in the Pamirs. There was also the famous British black magician and occultist, Aleister Crowley, who was later evicted from Germany and Italy. My goodness, I'm looking ahead and getting my tongue confused. Okay. Later evicted from Germany and Italy by Hitler and Mussolini. That makes sense. Two men who feared the threat his own dark knowledge might pose to their plans. In the spring of 1901, Crowley was a principal in an Anglo-Austrian expedition for the first ascent of Chogol-ri, or K2, on the China-Pakistan border, a failed attempt to locate these same caves. After Red October, first Lenin and then Stalin would attempt to get back such territories once possessed by the czars that were lost during the Russian Revolution. Then in the 1920s, between the First and Second World Wars, the Russian mystic Nicholas Roerich learned of the documents while traveling through Mongolia, Tibet, and Kashmir. He was told that they were scattered across Central Asia, Afghanistan, and Tibet, and that when they surfaced, the hidden cities of Shangri-La, Shambhala, and Agharthi would rise. Interesting. But there was another hidden city that sank beneath a mysterious lake when the Mongols first invaded Russia. Kitse, the Russian city of the Grail, which will also rise from the water to usher forth the transition of a new age. Okay, we're going to stop there because there's a lot of foreign words to me that I'm struggling with today. So we're going to stop right there. Wow. Again, this is a historical fiction, and this is a time period I am not familiar with. So if you want to check the facts, please do. Go ahead and Google it. You can Google anything, right? All right, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.